is In the Know for Monday, June 16, the 167th day of 2025. There are 198 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's country station 1039 The Moose. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app, using SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Got the water cooler question coming up. That and a whole lot more coming up today. Here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
You did a tremendous job yesterday preparing Father's Day lunch.
Aw, you did the grilling.
Well, I did the grilling, but I won't say that it's easy, but I'm used to doing that, so it's not that big of a deal. But you had like all the fixins. You made the vegetables, and you didn't quite grow the vegetables yet, but we're going to have some grown vegetables before too long. But you made a chocolate lava cake that was really good. So I noticed we had some of the family that was traveling. So it was one of my siblings. So it was Marita and Mom and Dad and you, and of course Gertie May. I was celebrated with Taylor and Brady on Friday. But I noticed you at one point in time were sort of just watching this big volley ping pong between like us as a reminiscing of old days and our grandparents and et cetera. Did you think that was funny? Because you seem to have this interesting expression while taking that in. Or did you just feel lost?
No, it's interesting because we are typically at your parents' home. And just the way that it happened where I was sitting yesterday, I had the best view. So I don't always have the best view at your parents' home because I'm on the side.
Right.
But because I was waiting in the oven for the lava cake to come out warm, I was at the end. But my absolute favorite still, and I nobody else would get it, but I even said to myself this morning, well.
It's pretty fun to identify your ancestors in your own self, like the genes that you get from the various families, et cetera. So yeah, we did have
it was nice though. And it was just, I think it just being here, and it was fun. It was very relaxed.
Got to visit with my grandmother yesterday afternoon, so that was good as well. It was a nice day. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk. Oh, he's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm okay. Did you do anything out of the ordinary yesterday? Just watch golf, or did you do anything big?
I mean, I talked to my dad. I don't know how or out of the ordinary that is, but no, not really. Why?
Was Dave had a good Father's Day, best you can tell?
Yeah, it seems like it. He was headed to meet my older brother, so it was good.
All right, good. Glad that. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I saw. This reminds me of playground games that we used to play. The world's largest game of red light, green light was played in California. You know that playground game where somebody calls red light, green light, and then if you say red light and somebody moves, then it's like they're out. Correct? Is that how you do this? So a fitness education group in California broke a Guinness World Record by gathering 1,423 people to play the playground game, red light, green light. That'd be a lot. You'd have to have a sound system to do that, wouldn't you, in order to be effective and yell I don't know what the winner received, but I thought that might be something you could do at the church picnic maybe this summer. Morning fog is giving way to some afternoon downpours today, so be prepared, and I expect at least here between the lakes maybe an inch of rain tomorrow, so significant. And as we get to midweek, we're also going to be on alert for potential weather. Scattered showers and thunderstorms return this afternoon and evening over the next 12 hours. We're going to see a flood watch for areas of the region. Heavy rain possible with today's storms, and then we could see midweek some strong to severe storms. Scattered afternoon thunderstorms today, a high of 86. Not going to get any mowing done, it doesn't look like. Tonight, thunderstorms and a low of 71. Thunderstorms tomorrow, high of 82. The grass is going to be knee-high before you can get back to it, I fear. The international headlines we're watching over the weekend: Israel strikes Iran's nuclear sites and kills the top generals. Iran retaliates with missile barrages. Of course, Israel has that Iron Dome, but it's not 100%. So there were missiles that got through and were killed people in Tel Aviv. And so anyway, continuing to have the back and forth between those two countries, and not sure how that ends. On Saturday, you had protests around the country, and then you had a big military parade to celebrate the Army's 250th birthday in Washington, D.C., and it was quite the spectacle. 6,000 soldiers, 128 Army tanks. They did a great job of showcasing, and I didn't see that much of it, maybe 20 minutes or so. They did a great job of going back to the origins, the caissons that were horse-drawn, and how our military, our U.S. Army, has evolved throughout the years, got to the World War I, II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Desert Shield, and then, the war in Afghanistan, our longest war. But watching the evolution of the uniforms, the equipment, et cetera, the aircraft, it was just really a spectacle. And while I guess expensive, probably some of the best marketing dollars that the Army could have invested, because they're continuing to try and recruit the next generation of our protective services for the country. And so they expect that being on display, that coverage around the country, is going to net in young men and women choosing to serve their country in the way of the Army. I was watched a little bit on CBS, and I watched a little bit on Fox News, and I was reminded how hard parades are to broadcast, to be the host. They are the worst because they're just very little. You run out of superlatives in
Yes,
quite a hurry. Like everyone that they brought on, every commentator, every talking head that they would bring in, and let's get your thoughts on it. Our Army is older than our country. Yes, it is, by a year. We had to have an army to fight for our freedom to establish our country, but that was seemingly the one factoid that everyone had to mention. Like, well, I got to mention this, that the Army's older than the country. I also believe that what we saw on Saturday in Washington was probably a good test run for some of the things we're going to see next year when we get into the bicentennial. There's some big long name for what 250 is. I heard it yesterday, but I didn't mention. And then, of course, around the country, you had these protests that were these No Kings protests that were, I guess, anti-President Trump. Hopefully, those were primarily peaceful. I know we had some in the Commonwealth. We had, I think, Bowling Green,
Yeah, I saw
Louisville, et cetera, various ones. I think
Video on Bowling Green.
some were more peaceful in portions of the country. Some were less peaceful in portions of the country. I saw a man suspected of, this is just terrible. The man who suspected of shooting 2 Minnesota lawmakers is in custody after surrendering to the police after a pretty lengthy manhunt. But Vance Bolter is his name. He was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 of attempted murder. He's accused of posing as a police officer and fatally shooting former Democratic House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark in their home early Saturday in the northern Minneapolis suburbs. He also shot Senator John Hoffman, a Democrat, and his wife Yvette. They were injured at their residence about 9 miles away. They're trying to piece together motives on that. I think he had some of that No Kings literature in his car. So based upon the political ideology of his victims, there was some doubt. Well, what is his political motivation here? I guess I just need to remind. This should get the attention of everyone. These are the equivalent of people that we know that live in our community that we call by first name, right? That go represent us in Frankfort, and they go make votes, and they make tough votes, and they make votes that some people don't agree with, and they make votes that people do agree with, et cetera. And so when you dial up the political rhetoric, when you use words like someone is a Nazi or someone is this or someone is that, and it goes both ways, by the way. When you do this, you cannot be surprised when those who are unstable decide to go and attempt to murder legislators. And again, so these people are in Minnesota, has portions of small communities just like ours, and because of the political rhetoric that we've dialed up back and forth, someone goes and says, I'm going to go kill, premeditated, and had a list of others that he intended to harm as well. And so it's unacceptable. And we're going to have to do something differently if we want a different outcome. Now, locally over the weekend, it probably was hard to escape the coverage and the discussion over the motorcycle poker run that was being held in Grayson County on one of their tour stops. I think it began maybe in Hart County, but they were at 88 and St. Anthony Road. One person was shot, another hit by a truck during a road rage incident here in Grayson County. State Police Public Affairs Officer Scotty Sharp said that the incident occurred about noon on Saturday, took place near the intersection of Peonia Road, Highway 88, and St. Anthony Road. He said the incident involved several hundred motorcycles participating in a charity poker run and pickup truck. One person suffered a non-life-threatening gunshot wound, while another person was hit by the pickup truck. The person struck by the truck was transported to the University of Louisville Hospital. We have some additional detail for you at K105.com, including what's supposedly, and I believe to be, a video, first point-of-view video from someone involved, and then also a statement from the apparent victim of the shooting. I will be interested to see, when all is said and done, Trooper Sharp said charges may be filed. Charges could be forthcoming. Well, you hear about a shooting and you think, well, then surely they would. Well, apparently there's some dynamics here. I think if you have a motorcyclist in your family, you are a motorcyclist, you probably are extremely concerned about the way that motorists treat, maybe they're not always crazy about sharing the road, etc. But then conversely, if you're not part of that community, you might be critical about how long the roadways might be blocked. And there are people who have legitimate reasons to get through and go places, et cetera, et cetera. So there's probably some blame to go around on all parts, but nothing excuses violence, and certainly nothing excuses running into someone with your vehicle who happens to be on a motorcycle or near one. But again, people just seem to have a hard time getting along these days. One person was transported to the ER after a two-vehicle crash on South Main Street in Litchfield. The LPD and LFD, along with EMS, responded to the accident Friday night about 5 minutes after 6 at South Main Street and West White Oak Street. The investigation shows a Ford Fusion traveling south on South Main and a Kia Soul turning left from South Main onto West White Oak collided. The elderly female driver of the Kia was transported by EMS to Owensboro Health Twin Lakes with non-life-threatening injuries. No one in the Fusion was injured. At its June meeting, the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education Board approved a recommendation to raise undergraduate tuition and mandatory fees for resident students by $420 for the 25-26 school year at 3 of the regional public universities. That's EKU, Murray State University, and WKU. Closer to home here, the Kentucky Community and Technical College System institutions cannot raise resident tuition and mandatory fees more than $9 per credit hour over the next 2 academic years. The maximum increase allowed in any one year is $6 per credit hour, with a $3 per credit hour increase in the other year. So those numbers could be changing, but wanted to make you aware. A tragic bus crash involving a local church claimed a husband and wife and left another person in critical condition Sunday morning. This happened over in Franklin County in Frankfort. According to the police department there, officers responded to what they described as a major motor vehicle collision around 11 a.m. The single vehicle crash occurred in Georgetown Road at the intersection with Seminole Trail. 3 were aboard the van. The names of the deceased were released this morning. You can read about that at Kentucky Today, in case you know somebody that might have been involved in that, but really sad to hear that. Right after our show on Friday, Samuel took off on his summer tour, his summer basketball tour, to follow the Cougars and Lady Cougars. Who were you following on Friday, Sam? You got the
Cougars. Cougars. Yeah, the Lady Cougars were in Winchester.
So you went up to Cecilia?
Correct, against Central Hardin. They were playing in the Central Hardin Summer Jam, I think is what they called it. I think that's what they were naming, but they had like a little 16-team tournament, so summer ball. And Cougars lost on a buzzer beater in the first game. It was a great game. I didn't end up counting up the amount of lead changes, but it probably was 15 to 20 lead changes throughout the game between Warren Central and Grayson County. It was a phenomenal game. I mean, I even saw, I don't remember if it was Coach Johnston or one of the assistants came up to me after the game and was like, wow, like just what a good game. You know, like you hated that you lost. And then in the second game, they were shorthanded and had a comeback late, but Bardstown ended up pulling away with the win. So the Cougars went 0-2, and they'll be at Ohio County here in about an hour and a half. So they'll be playing at 11-2 against Ohio and Muhlenberg. I think are the two teams they're playing today. And then the girls will close later this week as well.
They went to a county to the east on Friday. They're going to county to the west today for some summer ball.
I'm hoping to get some updates or give some updates from that one as well if I can get out of here in time.
College World Series first weekend in the books. The Cards got walked off on Friday night, but they rallied for 6 runs in the 8th inning to top Arizona and staying alive in the World Series yesterday. Murray State avoided elimination, but they face potential elimination tonight against Arkansas. So go Racers. Have you watched any of the College World Series?
No.
Sam?
No, I have not. I haven't. I mean, I watched some of the like super regionals and stuff, but just haven't watched any of the College World Series yet.
So UCLA, obviously a good program, got off to a fast start, held off the Racers 6-4. So the Racers were able to put some runs on the board, but they'll be playing. I think that potential elimination game is tonight with Arkansas.
No, it's at 1:00.
It's at 1:00 this afternoon? Okay, good. The Buffalo Bills will sign the first-round pick, Maxwell Hairston. They were able to get a deal with him. Big blockbuster trade involving the Giants and the Red Sox yesterday. Was not the Yankees' weekend against the Red Sox. J.J. Spawn weathered the worst of the wet Oakmont to win the U.S. Open. It was, it was a tough day on the links of Oakmont for the field. But what a way to finish it. He drained the longest putt anyone made all week on number 18 yesterday. He was likely to win, but that 65-foot putt sealed it and put him back in red numbers. He was the only one in red numbers for the week. So I don't know much about J.J. Spawn, but on Father's Day with his family, he's not a name that you would expect to win, so he's an unlikely champion. So it was great to be able to watch.
I saw this morning, apparently he was up at 3 a.m. at the local CVS buying medicine because his child was sick.
Yeah, he
something.
had a sick kid, so he had to go to the drugstore in the middle of the night, to play the dad role. Then he gets up and goes out and wins the U.S. Open yesterday afternoon. But they had a rain delay, and it was brutal. They set the U.S. Open courses up to be just as almost impossible, and they get some of the best to just kind of get exasperated. But he was able to weather through and weather the storm and walked away with, he's got the national trophy. So congratulations to him. The Ellie De La Cruz had 3 RBI, scored 3 runs. The Reds rallied to beat the Tigers 8-4 yesterday, and they return home to host the Twins in a 3-game series. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. We're looking forward to a conversation with TJ Conrad from Intensive Health Mobile Unit. We'll talk with TJ coming up here on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
The mobile unit from Intensive Health brings trusted, high-quality addiction treatment right to your community. Serving 5 counties, including Grayson, our innovative services offer telehealth treatment, mental health counseling, medical health assessments, primary care, and general medical services. We also offer hepatitis C and HIV screenings and treatment. No more long travels for essential care. We are discreet and accessible. Visit intensivehealth.com to find out more. a StepWorks recovery service.
If you're the average person, you only think about income taxes from January to April. But the choices you make 12 months a year have a big impact on your tax return preparation and even your refund. Making adjustments to your financial matters during tax filing season is like trying to lose weight during a routine doctor visit. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart work year-round to advise clients on important financial decisions so that during tax filing season, you're carrying a lot less stress and worry. Join the Peace of Mind team with Buckles, Travis & Hart, 270-259-5604 or GraysonCPAs.com.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start August 18th. Visit kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Litchfield Exterminating believes it's all in the name. Centricon is #1 in baiting treatments. Termidor is #1 in liquid odorless treatments. Litchfield Exterminating is #1 in pest control. Coincidence? I don't think so. Litchfield Exterminating uses #1 products because that's what they do and how they do it. Litchfield Exterminating has served South Central Kentucky for over 30 years. Litchfield Exterminating, only a phone call away.
Call Litchfield Exterminating 259-6285.
And here's Clark with the weather. How's it looking for our weekend boaters out there, Clark?
Well, Stacy, we can expect periods of heavy rain across the viewing area. That means all the trash, lawn chemicals, and other hazardous waste on the ground go down the storm drains and into our rivers, lakes, and streams.
Gross.
Gross is right, Stacy. Now here's Dave with sports. Do your part to keep our new Kentucky home clean. Make sure only stormwater goes down storm drains. Brought to you by Team Kentucky and the Kentucky Transport.
Autonomous vehicles could lead to fewer car accidents, but are not expected to lead to fewer dollars spent on insurance. Matt Mattinson explains.
New research from Goldman Sachs says the types of risks insurers cover in the future may shift rather than disappear. In the meantime, drivers can expect modest growth in auto insurance premiums, partially because newer tech-heavy cars have pushed up repair expenses, leading to higher costs per claim. While lower premiums won't come soon, Goldman analysts predict insurance costs will decrease by more than 50% in the next 15 years.
And Meta is suing deepfake app Crush AI. The app that creates fake AI-generated inappropriately explicit images of real people reportedly ran more than 8,000 ads across Meta platforms. Meta alleges that Crush AI got around its ad review processes by frequently changing domain names and setting up dozens of different accounts. Meta says it has since improved its technology to catch such app advertisers. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Today's this segment of In the Know is brought to you by the Alice Theater's Summer Movie Series. This Thursday at 10 a.m., presented by Dan Powers of Litchfield, it's Cars. Go see Lightning and Mater and Flo and Lightning Cruise and all that gang. 10 a.m. on Thursday. It's free community event presented by Dan Powers of Litchfield. It's Cars as part of the Alice Theater's Summer Movie Series. Today is Fresh Veggies Day. It is Fudge Day. I like fresh veggies, but it's hard to turn down the fudge instead. It's Vinegar Day today. The vinegar cucumbers that you did, they turned out to be really good.
Good.
And it is Cannoli Day. It's also the day we say good morning and welcome back to TJ Conrad. He is the outreach coordinator with Intensive Health Mobile Unit. Good morning, TJ. Welcome back.
Good morning, Mark. How are you doing today?
We're doing very well. I saw a photograph of you a few days ago, and you were standing next to our friend Kaylee Brooks.
Yes, yeah. Kaylee, she's the outreach coordinator for StepWorks, yes.
Kaylee is a longtime friend of the show, friend of the family as well, and whenever I see her, we request her that she sings Adele songs to us, and she obliges.
I can imagine. She's that's what she went to school for. So yeah, she's great.
I know you part of your job, and I think the photograph I saw of you that day, you were celebrating either some event in the community, getting out and engaging in the community and with the community. Is that something you enjoy a lot?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I love giving back to the community, going out and meeting the people that we try to serve, and letting them know as much as about the program as we can, as I can.
I'd say people are probably naturally curious about it because it's innovative and it's a little bit different. And we'll talk about some of those nuances. This morning, when I was preparing for our conversation, I often try and find something new, something different that maybe we haven't talked about before. And I was, it came to me how we know that overdose death numbers, especially in Kentucky, are declining, and we're making inroads in that regard for multiple reasons. Narcan is a good reason of that, et cetera.
Absolutely.
But we still have a lot of work to do. One is too many, correct?
Oh, absolutely. One is too many, 100%. And Narcan is helping that trend drop. We're making it more readily available. The health department in Grayson County is tremendously, giving that out at 3 different locations. So we are making it readily available to everyone in the community as well.
It is also not necessarily something that is overly easy to do on your own. It takes multiple sources of help, multiple opportunities. The old adage is, it takes a village, et cetera. But
yes,
just acknowledging that you need the assistance of something or someone else is a big step.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's, they say in recovery, that phone, when we need the help the most is 1,000 pounds, but when you do reach out, you do get the hands of so many different people to help that want to see you succeed and want to see you do great things. You just have to pick up that phone and help, get that help.
We always, whether it's coaching people in sales positions or teaching people to just be courageous and be outgoing, sometimes it's just as simple as getting out of the car. Like you can drive somewhere and you can go, and the whole way there you say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go. The mobile unit is there today. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to say hello. I'm going to start my pathway to doing something different. And then you're sitting there on the curb and you're waiting, and you figure out a way to talk yourself out of it. So just opening the car door is 80% of the battle.
You put it in
park.
Fear
is a it can either cripple you or it can either motivate you. Yeah. And you just got to use that fear as a motivator. You've got to look at the way you're living, the way that you've your life is going, and say, I want to do something different. I want to be different. And just getting out of that vehicle, going to the door of the mobile unit and saying, I need help. That 4-letter word, help. And you're going to get so many resources just within a matter of minutes.
And one of the reasons that I think of it in those terms is because I like to think of the body like a car, and where your heart might be the engine, or your stomach might be the gas tank, or you can come up with any analogies that you want for transmissions or fuel injection, etc. And if you've ever driven a car that has, significant problems with the way that it functions, it's causing symptoms in other areas that force that car to not run as efficiently and smoothly and as ideally as we would like it. And to me, that's kind of the approach of intensive health, is that you might have some underlying issues that are harder to treat and are more comprehensive and intensive. But if we can just start to address the more easily treatable symptoms, then we're creating a pathway to something bigger and broader.
Oh, 100%. You got to maintenance your vehicle. You got to make sure there's oil in it, for the engine to work properly. And if you don't have it, the oil in it, then your engine's not going to work properly. So it's the same concept of mental health. If I'm treating my mental health, all the other things are going to be in line with that. I get a better health because I'm able to think clearer. I'm able to, if I've got, substance abuse problem, I'm able to, getting certain medications that are going to make me think clearer. And my outlook on life is going to be a lot better.
People who have maybe not listened in on our conversations before, if they were to drive and they're hearing it for the first time, maybe they've driven by and seen the mobile unit, they probably don't have a true appreciation for the number of services, the menu of services that are crammed into such what appears to be a small structure compared to a big medical clinic, but there's telehealth opportunities. You all can do so much with that mobile unit. Talk a little bit about what you provide.
Yeah, so we can do anything a brick and mortar store can or office can do. Anything that your primary care office can do or your therapist office can do. We can provide those services on site, whether it be like I said, the therapy. It's all telehealth. We have the counseling. We have the MAT. We can provide blood draws. So if you need to get blood work done, we can provide those services on site. Any kind of primary care. You may need you need to get tested for the flu or COVID or whatever it may be. We can do that on site. We also provide the HIV and hepatitis C treatments, not just the testing, but we provide the treatments on site. So we're able to do everything that a brick and mortar can do on site with the mobile unit.
And at the same time, you're not necessarily trying to play the role of replacing all those things or replacing brick and mortars. You're trying to work alongside and kind of create some cohesion among all of them.
Correct. Yeah. So let's say you go to your therapist, but they don't provide and you have a substance abuse problem. Well, they can't provide you that the medication or the treatment for the substance abuse. Well, we want to provide you those services. And if you are going to a specialist that deals with medications and doesn't offer therapy, well, that's where we would come into play. If they don't offer, they want you to get tested for hepatitis C or HIV or whatever. They don't provide those services. Well, we can provide those services. We want to work hand in hand with whoever we partner with to give all the services to those clients that they serve.
And at the same time, also, we talk a lot about, it seems as if the format in which the services are delivered might align themselves very well to addiction treatment. That's not solely what you do. You don't have to have an addiction problem to use the services of intensive health.
No, not at all. You go to, I like to say this, everyone suffers from some sort of mental health, whether it be PTSD, whether it be anxiety, depression, something. We all suffer from some kind of mental health. So, just coming in and getting treated for that, it opens up the door for the primary care. Everyone needs a family doctor to get a yearly test, whether it be blood work or whatever. It's good to have a primary care doctor just to provide those services, and we can provide those for you.
You mentioned a moment ago about the partnerships and working alongside people and helping create a network of options to make sure people are receiving the care that they need. And while this is not a new partner to you corporately, you do have a new location partner part of the time in the area. It's technically in Clarkson, but for us locals, we would consider it between Litchfield and Clarkson. Explain how your Mondays are formatted in Grayson County.
Yeah, so Monday mornings, we're still going to be at the same location, setting up across from the health department, but we're going to be leaving there around noon and going to the Fuller Life there in Clarkson. Did I say that right?
You did,
We're in Litchfield.
It's
okay.
correct, yes.
We're in Litchfield in the mornings, and in the afternoons, we're going to be going to Clarkson from noon to 2. We're partnering with them, which is, like you said, it's not a new partnership. It's just something that we figured that would, benefit the people. That way they don't have to travel all the way up to Litchfield to get those services. We can be right on the spot for them.
Well, and that helps. I know my presumption is, and for full disclosure, in other communities where you go, you have been at other Fuller locations, and my presumption is you've seen that's having the services that you all provide immediately adjacent to their patient traffic lends itself again to those synergies and those partnerships. And so one of the things we've talked, whether it's talk with Joyce, talk with you, talk with anyone with intensive health, it's about meeting people where they are. And that's why you're mobile. That's why you're out curbside, so that people, they don't have to worry about getting out, walking in, sitting in a waiting room, etc. You just get out and present.
Correct. Yeah. So it has helped us tremendously being on site with our partners, being able to give those resources. When they come out, they're saying, we send them to the mobile. They send them to the mobile unit. We're able to get those services right there on the spot, whether it be through our peer support or through medical, because we do have a peer support that can help remove barriers as well, whether it be housing or medical insurance, whatever your other barriers are outside of the mental health, the substance abuse, whatever's blocking you from being successful, we are able to provide those services.
8 to 4 Mondays at the health department. 8 to noon at the health department, and then noon to 4.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Tuesdays, you're where?
Tuesdays we are in LaRue County.
Okay, in LaRue County, and then working around the region the rest of the week. Before you go, I need two things. Where can I get more information?
So you're going to go on, you can go to our website. It's intensivehealth.com/mobile. And that's going to be take you straight to our website. Or you can contact us at 1-877-218-3648. And that website was intensivehealth.com/mobile.
I know that you've worked with various people. We've talked about you all having a program at the detention center now. We've worked together some. In your time working with the people of Litchfield and Grayson County, is there anything you've learned about Litchfield and Grayson County that you would offer?
Yeah, so some things that I've noticed is that it's a community of giving. The people in Litchfield that we work with, we partner with, want to see the individuals of Grayson County succeed, and they want to see them. They want to give them a hand up. They want to see them thrive, and because when you have community people that are doing the right things, your community itself prospers. So there's a lot of people in the community that want to see everyone succeed and do well.
Great, I appreciate it. I'm glad you noticed. We hope that it's that way, a kind of a spirit
Absolutely.
of cooperation. So, TJ, it's always good to catch up with you. Hopefully, we'll see you again in just a few short weeks.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate you all having me. You have a blessed day.
You too. Have a great day. That's TJ Conrad. He is the outreach coordinator with Intensive Health's mobile unit there in Litchfield today, this morning at the health department, this afternoon at Fuller Life Counseling Partners in Clarkson. We'll get to a break. We'll come back. Today's water cooler question is coming up here on In the Know. Midway Pharmacy is your trusted local partner in health and wellness, offering free delivery so you never have to worry about picking up your medications. The friendly staff knows you by name and is always ready to assist you. Living and raising our families in the same community, they understand your needs. With a wide range of services and personalized care, Midway Pharmacy is here to make your life easier and healthier. Visit or call any countywide location today of Midway Pharmacy.
Hey, it's Shannon the Dude. Summertime is finally here, so whether you ride, pedal, walk, or drive, Kentuckians are reminded to follow the rules of the road as traffic increases across the state. Buckle up, put the phone down, obey the speed limit, and always travel sober. If riding a bike or a motorcycle, wear a helmet, and if walking, stay visible. Let's work together for the safety of everyone using our roadways. Be safe, Kentucky. Brought to you by Team Kentucky and the Office of Highway Safety.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 30 to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works. Call 1-800-206-6755. 1-800-206-6755. 1-800-206-6755. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services, Inc., 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 80092. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation. Commission license number DC 83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action, not a loan company.
Congratulations, you are officially a Kentucky Farm Bureau insurance agent.
Sweet. I get one of those cool agent names, right? Like Viper or Shadow?
Well, Wayne, we were thinking you'd go by Wayne?
Oh, Wayne's fine too.
There's a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent in every county, which means you'll know yours by name. In this case, Wayne.
I got it. What about 006?
Kentucky Farm Bureau. Big on commitment. To find an agent near you, go to mykfbagent.com.
Ugh, my storage is full. I have to delete some photos. Don't need these. Our holiday world trip? You can't delete those.
The one of Mom's hair after riding Thunderbird?
My hair? Remember Zach's blue ice cream face?
No, I'm keeping these forever.
At Holiday World and Splash and Safari, we can't free up your phone storage, but we do have free soft drinks, parking, and sunscreen. Time to make room for the good stuff. Visit holidayworld.com.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast for this afternoon into this evening, and some of those thunderstorms can produce some locally heavy rain and some gusty winds. Once we get into tonight, we'll keep some rounds of rain in the forecast, and we'll keep those on and off showers and thunderstorms tomorrow as well. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Did you know the tendency to be pessimistic and negative is a genetic trait similar to hair and eye color? So sometimes pessimists, it's not a choice they're making. Sometimes they have a genetic reason for being that way. Yes, it does make you wonder the negative people that you know. Negative and pessimism aren't always synonymous, by the way. So you can be pessimistic without being negative. But interesting, I didn't know that. Here's today's water cooler question. If you or your household have not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win by texting your response to 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. You'll get your choice of theme park tickets today, and the question goes a little something like this. On average, a person will get 17 of these a year. On average, a person will get 17 of these a year. Text your answer to 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. I don't see you writing anything down immediately. I don't see Sam writing down anything immediately. Are you all stumped?
I wrote something down.
Sam was correct when he predicted that Lilo and Stitch would not be number one this week at the box office, but they were still number two. How to Train Your Dragon did $83.7 million. Lilo and Stitch did $15.5 million. Materialist at $12 million. Fourth was Mission Impossible from the World of John Wick at number 5. Karate Kid Legends at 6. Final Destination, The Phoenician Scheme, The Life of Chuck, and Sinners round out the top 10. How to Train Your Dragon, number 1 at the box office. Gunsmoke, the 1965 series, is a streaming hit in 2025. In this Western happy television era, Gunsmoke was the summit. Like, Gunsmoke was in the 60s, it was what everyone watched. And twice this year, Gunsmoke has made Nielsen's top 10 list of most streamed acquired series, up there with fresher programs like NCIS and Grey's Anatomy. For 1 week in March, Gunsmoke tallied 646 million minutes viewed. Sam, you ever watched Gunsmoke?
Not more than a couple of episodes, probably.
I'm not sure. Have you ever watched Gunsmoke, hon?
Yeah.
I've never seen an entire episode of Gunsmoke. And it's because it was in between for me. When I was growing up, in syndication, we did get Bonanza and High Chaparral and Big Valley, etc. But Gunsmoke was not in syndication or available to me when I was a kid in the way that, say, my parents would have watched Gunsmoke. So if I were a few years older, I would have caught it in the first runs. But if I were a little bit younger, I would have caught it more on TV Land. But as a result, it's not really something I've been exposed to. Do you know why it's so popular right now?
No.
I feel like I should know this.
Because of Yellowstone.
There we
Because of
go.
Yellowstone being so popular, it has caused people to kind of embrace more of that Western content.
What service is
that,
it on?
Is available. It's on Netflix.
Hmm.
I believe that's right. Yeah. Well, and it's also on MeTV and on TV Land,
Yeah.
etc. So you can now it's you're able to stream it, etc.
You can find it.
The Jonah, I am kind of curious because apparently, like people make comments about the episodes before a character was on there or the episodes after a character was on there. I'm like, I don't know what any of that. I don't know what any of that means. I don't know who Festus is. Jonas Brothers I knew Uncle Festus. Jonas Brothers canceled several upcoming concerts and are ditching stadiums for smaller venues. What does that mean? People are over the Joe Bros. That's what it means. They can't fill the stadiums like they once were. And if you're going to concerts like Louder Than Life or other big music festivals, festival rockers are now being told to take off their smartwatches because mosh pits have been sparking emergency alerts. So your new smartwatches, if you make a sudden fall or sudden change in direction, the Apple Watches are designed to detect that you might have been injured and you might need an emergency. So they've been getting emergency 911 calls from mosh pits because people are thrashing themselves around so much.
So I'm not left-handed, right? And I wear my Fitbit on my left hand.
Yes.
But Saturday night, I was cutting up all those vegetables. My Fitbit thought I was swimming.
Well, yeah. Sometimes my watch, the lawnmower, apparently I appear to be cycling. Who's like or rowing.
Yeah,
or,
I wish.
Yeah, I wish. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. We'll figure out who wins today's water cooler question. We'll have Points of Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, and more coming up here on In the Know.
It's tough on everybody when a loved one is suffering from a terminal illness, but the emotional needs of young children often get overlooked. They don't fully understand sickness and death, so we think, and we assume they're unaffected by it. But young people can feel confusion and sadness, just like you. To support your children when someone is sick and dying, keep a few things in mind. First, get your children ready for what's coming. Of course, you'll want to use age-appropriate language, but introduce them to the concept of death before their loved one actually passes away. That'll give your children an opportunity to make sense of what's happening. Second, keep it simple, but tell your children the truth about dying. Some parents try to soften the reality of death too much. They say, Grandma went on vacation, or Uncle Fred became an angel. In the long run, an overly soft approach doesn't help children grapple with the real pain of death. Finally, prepare your children for the emotions they're likely to see all around them. They may wonder why everyone's crying and upset. Help them understand that death makes people sad, and it's okay if they feel sad too. Encourage your children to ask questions and to talk about what they're feeling. Children may not fully understand death, but it still affects them. When someone dies, give your children special attention and make sure they're coping well. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The word you are about to hear.
Smith Overhead Door isn't just about opening and closing. We're about safety, security, and style for your home or business. As a Future Designs company, we're lifting expectations across Grayson and surrounding counties with top brands like CHI and Chamberlain.
Hey there, I'm Kevin Brooks with Smith Overhead Door. Whether it's a sturdy LiftMeister for your garage or a sleek Clopay door for your shop, we install and service with a commitment to reliability. Smith Overhead Door, we're opening up possibilities.
Secure your entrance at sohd.info.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. You wake up and it's 1990. No Wi-Fi, no smartphones. What's the first thing you do? You wake up and it's 1990.
Okay. Is it winter?
What's the first thing you
Has
do?
there been snow?
That's a good question.
Because if I'm going to pick up the phone and call the number and see if there's school.
Yeah, you're going to call us. You're going to call us and say, is there school tomorrow? I wondered, am I the age I am now? Or am I the age I was in 1990? Because that would probably...
Well, that changed things for me, I guess.
I think it would change things for you tremendously. But I thought, turn on MTV? Like, that's something... Oh, yeah, you got your MTV shirt on.
That's didn't even notice that either.
Well,
I just now took my sweatshirt off.
And I thought of that before I
Yes.
saw your shirt. I don't know. Do I have to, like... Not sure.
See, I can't answer this question.
It would be hard to go back. It would be hard to go back in time like that. I don't know.
I can come up with some.
It was the year after I got out of high school, so I do know, I wouldn't be getting on the bus to go to school or driving to school, but so I'm not sure entirely.
1990.
The water cooler question was the average person gets 17 of these each year. 17 of these is what you will get each year. What is it?
I put headache.
Sam, go list. Okay.
Sam said headache.
Yeah, I don't think
So
that's
more
right,
than
though.
one a month. What do you think?
Case of the hiccups.
Case of the hiccups. That's probably about right for you. Bug bites. Bug bites
That's it?
is the correct answer. The average person, yeah.
I'm
I was
digging
glad
at
that you
17
didn't.
right now.
I was glad that you didn't ask me because you had 17 last week.
I mean, there's yeah.
So, but then you do have those indoor cats, those people that don't go outside and don't risk getting any bug bites. So, Sam, I know we had that was a popular choice.
It was.
So,
1 to 6.
1 to 6. I'll go with 5 today. Number 5.
3602.
3602. Congratulations to you on television tonight. Walk with Dinosaurs on PBS. It's a series premiere on the Food Network. Super Mega Cakes. And the NBA Finals, Pacers at Oklahoma City Thunder this evening. Do you know how that series stands?
It is 2-2.
2-2. All right. So game 5 tonight. Today's highlight in history. This date in 1963, the world's first female spacewalker, Valentina Tereshkova, was launched into orbit by the Soviet Union aboard Vostok 6. The Ford Motor Company was incorporated in Detroit this date in 1903. The Walt Disney Company opens Shanghai Disneyland this date in 2016. Birthdays today, Roberto Duran, the boxer, is 74. Laurie Metcalf is 70. Phil Mickelson is 55. Diana DeGarmo is 38. Gone but not forgotten, Stan Laurel was born in 1890. And Tupac was born this date in 1971.
Wow.
Those are your gone but not forgottens. Here are your chart toppers for today. 1948, the Andrews Sisters were number 1.
There's a certain thing he's gotta do. He can never take her by the hand till he learns to tooly-ooly-doo.
Tooly-ooly-doo. Okay. Okay, very good. Let's go to 1957. The Everly Brothers were number 1 with Bye Bye Love.
Bye-bye love, bye-bye happiness, hello loneliness, I think I'm gonna cry.
That has more recently, in recent years, been used in some type of television advertising
There's
campaign.
something about that. I don't know that I don't.
Like the Don and Phil, they were kind of
don't know. It's a
splitting between
whiny or
rockabilly and rock and roll. Simon and Garfunkel, number 1 at 66. With I Am a Rock.
All right. recognize that album cover.
You do?
But I don't remember playing that.
I wonder who trimmed Paul Simon's bangs.
Himself?
Maybe. They don't look particularly straight on that album cover. Let's go to 1975. So because a new season of Music Box is coming out today, they were suggesting the Yacht Rock documentary episode of Music Box. And they were talking about Ambrosia and Toto. And the captain was the only person wearing a captain's hat in the 70s. But somehow people decided that was going to be called Yacht Rock. Look in my heart and let love keep us together. Poor Captain and Tennille. They couldn't stick it out. Let's go to 1984. Duran Duran. This is Reflex. Duran Duran, Simon Le Bon, and Taylor. I can't remember which Taylor. 1993. Robin S. was number one with Show Me Love. I don't know if I'd ever heard that song before this morning. Let's go to 2002. No Doubt was number one. Gwen Stefani. Me. All right, let's move forward one more decade. Let's go to 2011. Adele gets a shout out in the beginning of the show. Well, not the beginning, but beginning of segment B. And here we are, Rolling in the Deep, number one in 2011. Blinding Lights, The Weeknd, number one 5 years ago today. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. I got a carryover from Father's Day. It says, a father is neither an anchor to hold us back nor a sail to take us there, but a guiding light whose love shows us the way. A father is neither an anchor to hold us back nor a sail to take us there, but a guiding light whose love shows us the way. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG Litchfield. The Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.